Hi, friends. You are listening to the Chris or Jenny Show featuring Deej on WCOM LP, Chapel Hill, and Carborough.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening, frenemies.
Good evening, Deej.
Good evening, Chris.
Oh, man. How's it going, brother?
Good. Softball started back up this week, and we won our first game last night. Doing pretty good. We missed you. Hopefully I'll see you Tuesday.
I'm excited to get the details on softball, Deej, but I tell you what, I'm super excited about our friend who's in the studio.
Yep.
Now, listen, we've had on this show a lot of amazing talent, as you know. We've had rock stars. We've had country music stars, Deej. We've had, 3 filmmakers now.
Yeah.
Actors and
We
actresses.
had a Major League Baseball player.
We've had a professional baseball player on this show, Pavita.
We had many rock stars, yeah.
A cavalcade of talent has come through our doors in the year and a half since we've been doing this show. But nobody, and I mean nobody, Deej, have I been excited about like I am tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get her in here. My good friend, Pavita Derebail.
Hi, good evening, friends.
Woo!
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Can you feel it in the air, Pavita?
This is
the excitement?
exciting. I appreciate the invitation.
Time for a delayed sound effect. Oh, jeez. My cow. So I'm pumped. Pavita, as Dee just mentioned, we play softball together.
Yeah.
Among his many talents, he's the manager of our team, and we got our first victory last night.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we're 1-1 on the season. Deej, give us a quick recap of the softball
Who
game.
did you play?
We played a team called Death Before Walks, and it was an exciting game. I actually have the box score right in front of me. So
break it down for us, brother. We want every detail, don't we, Pavita?
So the score was 14-14 after the third inning, and the other team they were chirpy. They were picking fights and like just starting arguments. And you know the Squids, we won't start fights, but we'll end them.
That's right.
So we were drawing back, and the umps had to come and call me out and tell me to calm my team down.
Oh, my goodness.
But I don't know. I loved it. I loved the chirpy energy.
Mayhem in Carborough softball. Mayhem.
We scored 7 runs in the top of the fourth inning, and we won 21-7.
21-7, Pavita.
How old were the other players?
Yeah, give us a little bit more detail on the other team, Deej.
What do you mean?
The maniacs who were chirping the whole time.
Were they 14 and under?
Probably not.
No, we're all adults.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Mentally or physically?
Carborough co-ed softball. Hard to tell.
DJ is a Dynamo softball manager and player. But you know what? We're excited that you're here. Welcome to the show, Pavita.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So you went to dinner earlier tonight.
We did.
Was this your first in-person human dinner?
With other individuals outside of my COVID pod. Yes.
Outside of your COVID pod,
Yes.
where you put clothes on, like nice clothes.
Well, zippers and buttons.
Right, zippers and buttons were part of tonight.
And like makeup, and I took a shower.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, something.
I know, right?
DJ has
I know.
not done.
I don't know if you wear a lot of makeup, DJ, but
No.
it's a lot.
So you got ready.
Sounds like
Yes, we got ready
You
and we
went
went
out
for
to a fancy restaurant in
Yes, we
Carbon.
did.
Let's say the
We
name
did.
of it. That's a good place. I want to give them a plug.
Good Acme?
No, we actually went to a wonderful place in town called Oak Leaf
Oak Leaf
in
Beach.
Carborough, and it
Ooh,
was fantastic
Sounds exotic.
to celebrate a girlfriend's birthday who she just turned 40.
Well, let's say her
It was
name.
amazing. Her name is. She asked.
She asked it not to be.
Her name is
Well, it's Karen.
KC.
Happy birthday, Casey.
Yeah, Casey, 40 years old. I'm so happy.
We
to
love
call
you,
her my friend,
Casey.
and-
Happy birthday. And I'll tell you what, that I've been to Oak Leaf once.
Yes.
And it was pre-pandemic when they've only been there for 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
Let me tell
In
you
this
something.
location.
That is the best. One specific thing, the bread.
Oh yeah.
That's the best bread I've ever had in my entire life. And the waiter told me the story about the bread. It's like a big deal. They
Oh, yeah.
fly it in or something crazy like
It was
that.
great. We had the pepperdelle and it was great. It's amazing.
What kind of bread?
I mean, just the little rolls that they give you, like between when you order and when your dinner comes.
It's like the complimentary stuff that you don't have to actually pay for.
Yeah, it's right. Well, I didn't order anything. I just sat there and let them bring me bread
There
5 or
you
6
go.
times.
That's what I know you about, Chris.
But
Chris is a cheap ass.
but DJ was so good though. The bread was delicious.
It was awesome. And the people, they did a great job. It was amazing.
Dinner in restaurants these days is taking a long time. Is that what you're
Yes,
saying, Pavita?
we got there at 5:15 and I was let out around almost close to 9. So be
Whoa,
prepared to sit
it's a
there.
marathon.
Yeah, it was a lovely dinner. It was a really nice dinner. There was a lot of us,
It was
but
good to get
be
out.
prepared to wait.
It was good to get out, get cleaned up, and
It's going to be a long night.
yeah. Jess went to dinner last night at Mateo in Durham.
Oh, that's a good place.
Awesome
I
restaurant.
Love that place.
And that's a place you could sit around for a while too.
Yeah.
But same thing, 4
This
hours.
is not the idea, though.
4 hours of dinner.
In Spain, you're supposed to spend that much time
Right.
to have supper.
Right.
Not at a local restaurant, down the road.
They also take a nap in the middle of the day. I'm trying to get into
Amen,
that. How do we get that incorporated here?
Honey, you can do that as well. It's called not having a job.
Now you have a law degree, is that correct?
I do.
It says right here on this paper, you're considered one of the greatest legal minds in Greater Chapel Hill, Carborough.
I think you hit the wrong button on your search.
But did you read that right? Pavita Derebail, one of the greatest legal minds around.
Yeah,
That's
like if
not
you
true.
Google her name.
That's not true.
But now
that's
you
all that comes
don't
up.
you don't work in a legal profession.
No, I don't practice.
Did you ever?
No. Lawyers are evil.
But you're a lawyer.
Yeah, but I'm a reformed lawyer. So everybody
Ah,
can
okay.
you can redeem yourself in a next life,
So your first job out of law school was not at a law firm. It was at
It was actually
UNC.
it was actually at a law firm.
Okay, what'd you do?
But I was a clerk. I was a clerk at a law
okay, yeah, you
firm.
got to clerk for a little while. Is that
And
what they
I
do?
just realized I was not for it. It was not for me.
Okay,
I can
during
see that.
during law school, did you think you were going to go in a different direction of where you are now, or?
No, I thought I was going to, everybody that goes into law school, I think has really good intention. Like you're
Yeah.
going to save the world.
Right.
You have the intention of doing good things and, lifting the impoverished and serving the people that are
Yeah.
less fortunate.
All right.
But, when I got out, I was like, gosh, it's just a money. To me, it felt like really money making.
A money grab.
It
Yeah.
was horrible.
I briefly considered going into law, and I'll tell you which type of law appealed to me. I thought being a bankruptcy attorney would be pretty cool because A, you're only helping people out. You don't make enemies. Like you help people in a bad spot.
Like
and-
everyone's already in a bad spot. Is that
Yeah,
just-
and there's kind of a roadmap for it. Like everybody that's coming to you is already in a bad spot, so you kind of know what's going to happen, and you help them out and you get them out of a tough spot.
I
And
appreciate that.
and it seems pretty chill. You probably just have a Word document and you just kind of find and replace names and crank out a PDF and I don't know. Seems pretty chill.
I think it's a bit pro forma. Yes, I agree. But I mean, there's a lot more to it. But yes, I agree. Won't you want to find a job where you can just lift people up and not like crap on people all
yes,
day?
Absolutely. So DJ Simons would be a bankruptcy lawyer if he was a lawyer. Pavita, what is Ex-quire? What is it when it says Pavita Derebail Ex-quire? What does that mean?
Well, Ex-quire would mean that you have a law degree and you have been barred in the state that you work. So
Like you passed the bar exam in North Carolina, for
in the
example.
state that you work. So Ex-quire
Because
is
barred to me and DJ means something different from what I think what you're saying. So you're saying you passed the
Me
bar.
too.
You passed the bar
I like
exam.
how we're barred from Orange County Social Club
We've been barred
for
from
the incident.
Well, that I just went to a bar in Carborough. It's probably
Okay, so to have Esquire on your name, because to me it seems so a little bit pretentious and snooty, and I feel like
But why though? But why?
I have no idea.
What is it different from MD, like medical degree?
Well, that's what I was going to say, but I want to start saying DJ Simons Esquire, and who's going to check? That's my
Well,
question.
I mean, that's against
They could check with the North Carolina bar.
the American Bar Association.
Yeah, that's stolen valor, son.
Okay,
No
so
laughing matter.
so I'm clear. The only people that are Esquire have passed the bar exam in
Yeah.
so and so state.
I would say yes.
That's what makes them
I
an
mean,
Esquire.
I don't know all of the rules.
I thought you
Wait, now let me
might.
ask you this, Pavita. If you have your law degree and you pass the bar and you're Esquire, but then you get disbarred,
Ooh.
Oh.
Is there a
still
different?
use Esquire?
I think right now on the show we need to make up a name for when you have Esquire and then get rid of it. What would it be? Does anybody have an idea?
Yeah, I just told you.
Esquire.
Esquire.
Ex-quire. I like.
Pavita, you got the law degree to help people. I do have a way that you can help people.
No.
We want you to be the
Oh,
official attorney of the Chris
no.
or Jenny show featuring
Absolutely
Deej.
not.
We can't pay you anything.
No, but I can't guarantee you that any advice that I'm giving you is actually legit because I'm not barred in the state of North Carolina.
Pavita,
You get what you pay for.
hold on one second. I want to have a quick sidebar with Deej. If you'll excuse us for 1 second.
Okay.
Deej, did you like how I used the term sidebar to kind of get in the legal framework? Did you like that?
Yeah, throwing all the bars. Hey, you ever notice how like we get barred from bars, but if a lawyer gets barred, they're already barred and they have to get disbarred. It's like a double disbarring.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a big announcement. The new attorney for the Chris or
No.
Jenny show featuring Deej, Pavita Derebail, ladies and gentlemen. She's on retainer.
Yeah.
Deej, she's on a pro bono retainer.
Like I said, you get what you pay
That
for.
means we can't pay you, but we'll take it.
Again, you get what you pay for, and I am providing no legal services whatsoever.
Oh, geez.
Just
She has to say
to
that.
be clear.
This sounds right
Just
up
to
our
be
alley.
clear.
Listen, Pavita, every time I start this show and DJ's not in jail, I'm surprised. Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time, Pavita.
What are you doing to me, Chris?
I don't know. We'll move on. I really didn't know what Esquire was. My brother's a lawyer, David Amsbury, but I really didn't know what Esquire was. And
David Amsbury Esquire. Put some respect on his name.
shout out to David Amsbury Esquire from Huntington, West Virginia. Speaking of Huntington, Pavita, let's say hello to friends that are listening from all over the country.
Yes, I would like to say hello to my Chapel Hill family.
Hello, Chapel Hill.
My Burien family in Washington.
Burien, Washington.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ashboro, and all over the United States of America and abroad. Thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate it. We know you are hearing us. This is an amazing show that Chris is putting on along with Jenny.
That's debatable.
From Burien, Washington.
I have a sister-in-law in Burien, Washington.
Yeah, so do I.
Wow.
We
Wait,
love
is she up
Burien.
for Citizen of the Year?
She didn't officially get nominated.
Oh,
Remember,
don't tell her about that.
we put all our chips in the Joe Hauser basket
Yeah,
for some reason.
I know. Joe Hauser is the bomb.
That was questionable.
We've got our ringer propped up.
I want to also say hello to friends that are listening from Albany, Georgia.
There we are,
Okay.
Albany, Georgia, and also
Stole it from New York.
our friends in the Poconos, Pennsylvania, and Pentagon City, Washington, D.C.
By the way, we're number 3 in the Poconos. I want you to know that.
Are you really?
I don't know.
That's amazing.
Aren't we, Deej?
We're rated in the Borscht Belt rankings.
Wait, you're rated?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
As
we're
usual,
99.
Everybody's always rated.
Yeah.
it normally takes more than 17 minutes for me to not know what's going on. But Westland, Oregon, we love our friends in Westland, Oregon. And of course, Deej. Burien, Washington was mentioned, and Geneva, Illinois. We love those friends in Geneva, Illinois.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right. So, Deej, fresh off a softball victory. Pavita, the new attorney of the show. Man, we got a lot going on.
Oh, God.
But I will say something, guys. I do want to mention another friend of the show just did come out of surgery. Aunt Mare. Does everybody know Aunt Mare?
Aunt Mare.
Yeah.
Everyone's beloved Aunt Mare. She just came out of surgery, Deej. I have no idea what for, but I'm sure it was bad. And I think some kind words from the show would lift her spirits. Now, she still thinks we're mad at her, Pavita.
Why?
She was scheduled to be on this show. And
what did you do?
No, we didn't do anything. She mysteriously, remember, Deej? She mysteriously had a voice ailment like an hour before the show was supposed to start. She didn't make it.
I showed up too, honey.
Pavita showed up despite, well, you don't have any ailment, despite the 4-hour dinner.
I mean,
and then
4-hour cocktail party.
I think she thinks that Deej is still mad at her. So Deej, I think some kind words from you to Aunt Mare live on the air would lift her spirits.
I don't know any kind words. I can only be a jerk.
Do what you would normally do, but do it in reverse. How about that?
All right. Hey, Aunt Mare, get better soon.
That was beautiful, Deej. That was beautiful.
All right.
Pavita, any words for
We're
the
all
great
rooting for
Aunt
you.
Mare?
We're all rooting
Hi,
for you,
Aunt
Aunt Mare.
Everybody's aunt. People love her.
Hi, Aunt Mare. You are America's auntie.
America's
we love
auntie.
you.
What a bunch of
We are
nonsense.
so hoping that you are getting well quickly and wish you a happy and healthy recovery.
That's beautiful, Pavita. Beautiful, Deej. Let's play a song. Here we go, guys. Hang out.
Rock and roll.
If it's all or nothing, you can count me in. I don't fear the undertow. My eyes are open wide, got a deep breath in. I'm sinking down below. In the fire, in the flood, I burn for you more than I should. In the fire, in the flood.
Everybody knows this fevered state I'm in. Where there's smoke, there must be flame. I said I would tell you every single thing if you'd only say my name. In the fire, in the flood, I burn for you more than I should. In the fire, in the flood, I burn for you more than I should. In the fire, in the flood.
I'm in too deep.
I'm in too deep. I'm in too deep. Yeah, in the fire, in the flood, I burn for you more than I should. In the fire, in the flood,
That is Jay Carlos, Deej. Pavita, Jay Carlos, a friend of mine from Media, Pennsylvania,
That was awesome.
with Katie Barbado.
She sounded a lot like Natalie Merchant.
Ah,
Oh my gosh, she sounds totally, she's got that Natalie Merchant vibe. That the song, if it was about 2.5 beats faster, it would totally be one of her songs.
like 10,000 Maniacs,
Yes,
Natalie Merchant?
totally 10,000 Maniacs.
Nice.
On the radio, boom, done. Multiple platinum.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's
Fire
me,
and Flood.
Just, you mark it today.
We've played him a few times. That's pretty good. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you since the pandemic began. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
So it's very exciting. Have you done very much in the way of events, or like what have you guys been doing during the whole thing?
With my husband being in the hospital arena, he's coming home every day, freaked out about everything. We've been super careful. It's been a struggle. It's not just me, it's everybody, obviously. I see the struggle on the face of the people who are actually taking care of those that are in this pandemic. My husband sees his patients are all sick, and my friends' patients are all sick. It's horrible.
So now would Vimel be considered a frontline worker?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do you know what they've been calling me this entire time?
Amy, no compromised?
A backline worker.
Me too, but I mean,
No.
I think there's going to be like novels and, a lot of psychiatric,
Oh my goodness.
evaluations about this. This is going to happen for decades beyond what this has just happened past this 1 year, whether it's physical, mental. I mean, it's going to go on forever.
Well, the other thing too, because you guys are known for throwing epic parties. Like I'm telling you, Deej,
Yeah.
Pavita throws these amazing parties at her house. I've been in there, and there's like a full band, a catering setup that would make Martha Stewart jealous, and like 1,000 well-dressed people kind of packed in. The kind of party you don't want to leave for 3 days. That's what I miss.
Yeah, we miss having folks in our home that are not immediate family. We miss that, but we also miss. I saw my brother this past weekend. My father just retired after 51 years of practicing medicine.
Oh,
Hadn't
congratulations.
seen- yeah, I know. Dr. PP.
Congratulations, Dr. I've met your dad. He is a wonderful
I
fellow.
know, right? Retired after 51 years of practicing medicine. and
Congratulations,
Hadn't
Doctor.
seen my brother almost close to 2 years.
Right.
It was hard.
Wow.
It's hard for everybody.
They really do throw nice parties at their house, Deej. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I met Todd Jenkins at your
Ooh,
house.
sweet.
There you go.
And he connected me to DJ. That's the softball and the radio show connection.
You're welcome, and
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I actually met Chris on Craigslist.
Oh. But Deej, my cleaned up version of the story was so much better. It
Hey
wasn't.
man, life's a lot more sordid than anyone cares to admit, isn't it? So I put an ad on Craigslist looking for softball teammates,
We're all great
and at the
relationships.
same
begin.
time, Todd referred you to me, and you replied to my ad. I think it was the same evening, like within a couple hours of each other. I could go back in my emails and figure out which occurred first.
So what you're saying is Craigslist is where all wonderful relationships begin.
Or at least this wonderful relationship.
So moving on, Deej. So speaking of these epic parties that Pavita used to have at her house, I will tell you, I'm fully vaccinated. She's fully vaccinated. Tonight was the second hug that I've received, besides my beautiful wife and
Legally.
legally, besides my beautiful, lovely wife and daughter who are fast asleep, and one other friend. You're the second hug I've received this entire time.
I appreciate that.
Wow.
It really meant a lot to me because I love you.
I love you too.
But Deej, I was at a party at her house one time at the Derebail household, and Pavita has a twin, and I roll in there, and this is not one of your big epic out the door parties. This is a smaller party, but we always have a nice embrace for each other.
Gathering.
She's cracking up. We always have a nice embrace for each other, Deej. I roll into their house. I go up to who I think is Pavita and give her a big bear hug, and I was like, "What's up? I'm so happy to see you." And it wasn't her; it was her sister.
Twins are always trying to get you.
I'm telling you, dude. And so anyway, that was a fun thing that happened in the Derebail household, pre-pandemic.
Yeah, this is a trick that we try to play on nobody because Chris is just a dum-dum. we are
geez.
identical,
Wait,
but
are
we
Chris?
look. Yeah, I know,
Me?
right? I know, hard to believe. We are nothing alike, but she's the love of my life. She's my best friend of all people.
Yeah, she definitely rejected my hug, though. I'm just gonna tell you what happened.
She would have like definitely Heisman'd you, dude.
I got the Heisman,
Like
the stiff arm.
total Heisman.
Oh my goodness!
You know, I've actually I've dated an unusually high number of twins, and my ex-wife is also a twin. I think I've dated 4 twins.
Is this hence why she's an ex?
No, irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Are you sure?
Pavita, Derebail, Ex-quire. It's irrelevant.
It's
So,
sort of
yeah, I don't know.
it's sort of patterned behavior.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something there. That's way above what could happen coincidentally.
Now, Deej, do you ever think there's been a situation where things are going well with one of these twins that you dated? You've been on a couple of dates, and then the next date's coming up, and like the one who you are dating is sick, and they ask their sister to sub in to keep the relationship going. Do you think that's ever happened to you?
That's gross, dude.
I'm just asking. No, I mean, just for like.
I can say no because
I'm just thinking.
there's 4, and they're all fraternal twins, no identical twins.
I just mean like a hand
3
holding.
fraternal, and one of them was a brother. So
Okay,
3
that's a
fraternal
problem.
sisters and
I just want to point
brother.
out Pavita's mind is in the gutter right now.
Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. So sorry, not possible.
Oh my goodness, we've gone off the rails once again on the Chris or Jenny Show featuring Deej.
I'd like to think I could tell the difference because identical only goes so far.
Well,
Does it?
I worked at an awesome grocery store called Mansewers when I was young. Kim Trotter, and he was my buddy growing up, and we both worked at Mansewers, and he has an identical brother. And I'm telling you, just kind of personality-wise, I have a feeling that there were some days that Kim was there, and then some day, I don't even know his brother. I think his brother's Maurice. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that some days Kim was there, and other days it was his brother. And I'll tell you why, because like I said, Kim and I were pretty good buds. So we'd have like inside jokes, and this is a grocery store when you're 20-something, whatever, 19 years old. And then other days I'd be like, "What's up, Kim?" And it'd be like,
I don't know who you are.
"Hello, sir." Totally different relationship. Kim Trotter, I'm going to ask him. I know he still lives in Huntington. He's a friend of this show, so I'm going to ask him if he had his brother work for him in the 90s at Mansewers grocery store.
You know why we were friends, right?
You and I?
Yes. Aside from
Many reasons.
well, as outside of the fact that I think that you're phenomenal.
Thank you. That is in debate, but thank you.
Well, other than the fact also that your wife's brother is married to my husband's cousin.
So let's do the tree here.
Yes.
We're going to break it down for you, Deej. You're going to love this. Dr. Jess Amsbury to Commissioner Joe Hauser.
Yes.
And then why don't you take it from there?
Is married to my husband's cousin, Sam.
Somebody-
that's why you've got the tied up you're in because you're literally related to Joe Hauser.
No, because we're really not related because they pretend that they're cousins, but my husband and Sam are really not. It's because my husband's
they're just
dad
friends.
and Sam's dad were best friends in India.
That'll do it.
And yeah, totally deep. But then they came to America
Right.
and then Sam's dad sadly passed away and my father-in-law took care of Sam.
Rest in peace, Sam's dad.
Yeah, rest in peace, Sam's dad. Yeah.
That's it.
So there he is.
It's a beautiful story.
So they considered each other's cousins, and my husband's an only child.
Now, he's an MD.
He is.
Now, how does he feel about when Dr. Jess Amsbury is a PhD?
That's okay.
Does Vimble have there's a debate about it? Okay.
No, not at all.
Is it kind of like when you're an identical twin
That's
and
what
you
it
find
is.
out someone's only a fraternal twin? You're like, yeah, you're a twin.
You know,
boss.
that's what it is. They're like, you are not a legit twin. That's what it is.
Or Deej, if you go by Ex-quire, but then you get kicked out of a bar, then can you no longer go by?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
totally full circle, Chris. Well done.
Oh man, what a bunch of nonsense. Deej, I wish you were sitting right beside me. That sounded romantic. I didn't mean it to.
Yikes.
It was romantic.
I look forward to having you back in the studio, but for the audience listening at home, Deej is not here. He's at his home in Durham.
Boo.
I'm incubating on my second shot. I figured I made it this far. I'll just play it safe.
Well done.
May 3rd is my immune day. And from that point forward, it's all making out with strangers at the bar.
And licking
and,
faces.
Other
So-
irresponsible.
So back to your normal life,
Goes on.
basically, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Deej. Really proud of you. Everybody should get vaccinated. It's totally safe. It's an amazing way for us to get back to normal.
A PSA from Pavita Derebail Esquire.
Yeah, no, not an Esquire. Just thank you from.
Are we gonna get sued?
Hey, thank you from one citizen to another. How about
Yeah.
that?
I'm not acting as
Pavita,
your
are we going to
lawyer.
get sued for
Yes,
this?
thank you.
You could. I'm trying to mitigate it, dude. I'm
Ooh.
trying
This
to
is not
help
constitutional
you.
legal advice.
Deej, did you hear that?
Helping
She just
you.
dropped a mid. You're our girl. Come on.
I'm
We
trying
need you.
to help you, friend. Help me help you.
Come on. We barely keep this damn show on the air.
Well,
Every
you're
episode.
not doing a very good job.
Oh my goodness. An old friend of mine's calling in. It's a surprise guest. So
Ooh,
DJ Simons, any last words, comments before we let you go?
No, just say hi to Sam and the gang for me. It's great to meet you, Pavita, and
Nice
enjoy
to
the rest
meet
of
you
the show.
too. Thank you so much for joining us.
And Deej, real quick before we
Yeah.
go, what was the most exciting moment of the night last night for the softball game?
That was such a good game. I'm just going to go with the selfish answer. I hit a home run.
Yeah!
So it was my home run. I'll go with that.
Did you miss this sound? Hold on one second.
He's got to find the cowbell. Bing, bing, bong, bang, bing, bong.
Oh,
bing,
he's
bong,
heard my
bing,
cowbell.
bong, bong.
You would have broken your cowbell last night. There
I'm
were
sorry, I
so many cowbell opportunities.
So I ran into Laura Malcolm. So earlier tonight, a mutual friend
Yeah.
of DJ's of mine who also plays softball. And remember, we talked to her about wanting to have her on the show. She didn't really respond. And I get it now after talking to her tonight. I think she's just a little bit shy about being on the air, which I totally get that. But her sister was like, yeah, come on, we'll do it. So I ran into the Malcolm
It could
sisters.
still be called Ask Malcolm. I mean, they have the same. They're both Malcolms.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to let you know
He
hello
lives
to,
Malcolm.
hello to them if they're listening. And we do want to get the Ask Malcolm segment off the ground, Deej.
I guess you just have to ask Malcolm if he'll do it.
I'll see you soon, Deej.
Nighty night, everybody.
Good night, Deej.
When I was 11, my daddy said, hey, let's take a little walk. You're becoming a young man. It's time we had a little talk. See, everyone thinks you're so cute now, 'cause you're just a budding twig. The same people won't feel the same way when you start getting big. I say, Daddy, why you so worried? Why you got that look on your face? He says, son, now this is important. I'm just trying to keep you safe. 'Cause no matter what you do, this world is gonna fight you. And I wanna make sure you can make it home every night, son. 'Cause your life matters. Your life matters. He told me about him, my uncle, the wrong time in the right part of town. He told me how the man in blue said, I ought to shoot you both right now. He said he was just about my age and he was praying for his life. And then the man in blue said, you better before I changed my mind. I said they used to joke about how everyone's black down in the gold mines and how we wish they felt the same way when their faces hit the lights. You can be more than perfect and still do everything wrong. You say I got to live to fight another day, son. You gotta keep on scared. Because the promise of America is that everyone is free. And in this America, that includes people that look like me. So I'm gonna tell you this one simple thing, and I'm sure we all could agree that Black Lives Matter. That Black Lives Matter. That Black Lives Matter. That Black Lives Matter.
Pavita, that is Aristotle Jones.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness, a friend of mine, good singer songwriter. He calls himself the Appalachian Soul Man. He's been on this show.
It's timely, isn't it?
It is.
You know what?
It's an important.
Well, we need to put the word forward because we always need to understand where we are.
That's right.
Where can we be better? That's what we need to keep on telling ourselves.
That's right. And I want to bring in another friend into the conversation.
Okay.
Chris Gormley, it's your job to lift us.
Greetings from Portlandia.
Hey.
It's great to hear
How are
your
you
voice.
doing?
Really good, brother. So this is a good friend of mine, Chris. They used to live in Carborough,
Hey, Chris.
and I'll let
Hey,
you.
how are you doing?
I'll let you tell the story about your cross country travails. But you've been there for a couple of years now, right? In West
We've
Lynn.
been here for 6 years now, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
Actually, I mean, it feels like
my-
yesterday. But
Jeez.
so the memories of that trip are super vivid. We were going to head back out west. We had been out in North Carolina for a couple of years and had some amazing friendships out there. But we also had family on the West Coast, and so we decided that we were going to try to find jobs back on the West Coast. And so we drove through the Smoky Mountains and through Tennessee and through Kentucky, and we were having lunch at the side of a lake. It was like somewhere in southern Illinois.
Yeah.
I got the call from Nike, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come in and interview with us. We want
Nice.
to talk to you." And so, Nike's actually based here in Portland, and so if you can picture this, we're in the middle of nowhere. We had twins in the minivan, actually, which was, of course, packed to the gills.
Yeah, 3 little girls.
I think they were like 3 or 4 months old at the time, and then we had our oldest was like 2. And I go to my wife, I'm like, "Honey, I got a jet."
They leave.
And she's like, "Okay, so like, how are we going to swing this?" And so what we ultimately figured out is, her mom at the time was living near Kansas City, and so basically what we did, because she couldn't just keep driving with these little babies in the van by herself. I mean, that would be insane.
And every possession you guys have.
Yeah, with just everything. Like, it was all in there. And, what we did was we pulled up to the Kansas City airport, and I flew in to Nike. When I got out of the van, her mom got in, and they kept driving. So they kept going west. And I came out here for a couple of days. I had my conversations, and then I got back on a plane and flew into Denver, and they met me in Denver. And then I think Katrina's mom flew back, just that short flight back to Kansas City.
Oh,
and then we just kept going. We went through the Grand Canyon and the Painted Desert and all that cool stuff. And basically by the time we rolled into Oregon, they finally called me back and they said, "Hey, we want you to come on board." And so that was the short version of that whole thing.
It
was pretty cool.
Story. That's a great story. You're a great storyteller.
I've always wondered some of the details, Chris. Thank you. I knew it was wild and hectic and crazy, but thank you for filling me.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many more details. And I'll tell you, like, I became a pro at like wrangling up breakfast for 5 people in those little like hotel breakfast areas. I'd basically walk in there and I would, grab one of the service trays and just start like loading it up with like all the stuff just to bring it back to the room and let everybody kind of just eat whatever they're going to eat, So just some weird things that we experienced along the way that were just kind of great memories too.
You left North Carolina, filled a van with your possessions, a pretty good gig here, as I recall.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about Nike before you left, but you just went for it before you had something set up on the other end, right?
Well, and I think that's actually one of the reasons they hired me, because I was talking to them when we were in North Carolina, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming out there. And they're like, what? And I'm like, we're driving. Like, we're getting in the van tomorrow. We're going.
Is that impressive?
And I think they're like, who is this guy? You know, and that was part of how I think they started to kind of take an interest. And then it just worked out when I met with everyone. They're like, all right, you know, we think we could use you here. It's been a good run.
Chris, you recognize that the reason why Nike is amazing is because of Michael Jordan, who was from here in North Carolina.
Yes.
Who made
Amen.
Nike Air.
Yeah. He's my favorite Nike athlete by far. There's a lot of amazing athletes that they obviously endorse and have relationships with, but he's by far and away the man.
I mean,
You know,
that's
as far
the
as I'm
man who
concerned.
like elevated
Oh.
Nike to 23, the jump man.
Pre-Jordan, they were like this little oddball, like running company.
There you go.
Yeah, right. I'm sure
Yeah.
Chris knows the history, but they were very tiny.
When we first moved out to Carborough, I still remember driving by Michael Jordan Nissan for the first time, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's Michael Jordan Nissan.
That's awesome. You guys have something in common. You two both have a couple things in common. Number one, you're both on the greatest radio show.
There you go.
The second greatest invention since whole bread,
There you go.
this show. Number two, you guys both have 3 daughters.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, nice.
That's it? Just nice. We're not going to expound on that.
we do.
No, that's super meaningful. I mean, it's its own adventure with those 3 little girls. It's been pretty cool.
And the girls' ages are?
The
Today?
twins at this point are 6, and our
Good.
oldest is 8.
Okay.
So yeah, so they've been, they've been doing the distance learning thing up until just recently. They started to go back in at least on alternate days, and so it's been a challenge for them. I'm sure it's been a challenge for you guys, like just trying to deal with everything that's been going on.
Yeah. Well, you've got younger kids that ours are 14, 10, and 7. So our 10 and 7 understand, and the 14, of course, will deal. But
Yeah.
but I think with your younger ones, that must be very challenging with them being so young. You know, they don't understand at that age.
That's confusing.
They
It's
don't.
confusing.
They don't, and they just need a lot more guidance. When you put them on a Zoom call,
Ugh, yeah.
It's been horrible.
it sounds like your kids are probably a lot more self-directed. I would guess.
Well, the
you know,
7-year-old isn't.
I mean, that's all. Those are all relative
Yeah.
terms. But
Yeah. But I agree.
it's
yeah.
just the younger they are, the more they're like, well, what am I supposed to be doing here? And you have to kind of keep redirecting them. And so my mother-in-law actually lives with us now, and she was a former school teacher, so she was kind of their learning coach, and that basically has allowed my wife and I to sort of live on Zoom and do our work while the kids keep going. So while it's been a lot of effort to keep them focused on what they're supposed to be doing, like the fact that she's here has been, I mean, there's downsides to it too, don't get me wrong, but like that's kind of a godsend right there that she was able to kind of help with that while we kept working.
We get it.
That's incredible. Wow.
We got lucky.
Both of you blow my mind. Like, Pavita, you're one of the busiest, productive people that I know. Chris just told us about going across country. Jess and I can barely handle one. And it just blows my mind to see both of you all just like getting stuff done and making it happen with so many.
I think you just make it work, right, Chris?
Yeah.
You just have to make it
do
work.
I guess as Nike would say. And I mean, it's happening either way, right? So you just got to go with it and give it everything that you have, and it'll work out the way it's going to work out.
Now, Chris, do you get a bonus every time you say "just do it" on a radio show? Like, did you just make a bunch of money?
I get a nickel every time.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
One more thing you two have in common: Pavita is a twin, and Chris has twin daughters.
There you go.
Oh wow,
Yes,
that's cool.
I'm an identical twin. Do you have identical twin daughters?
I'm pretty sure they're like fraternal twins.
Pretty sure.
There was a little debate back and forth. They look so distinct.
Chris, go look at them and then come back.
I mean,
No,
they're
but
their
you
own.
can genetically figure
They're definitely
that
their own
out.
people. They have that super common bond, which is
No,
just kind of
that's-
amazing to see. But
Yeah.
they're distinctive. It's pretty easy to tell them apart.
Yeah, you can just do like a genetic test and figure that out.
No, it's true. And we just sit there and argue with each other, but we never actually
That's
figure
okay.
it out.
You know what? You do what you got to do, boo boo. It's okay.
Is it true that like
Yeah.
you know what your sister is feeling or thinking, or like how much of that?
I mean, listen.
Think back when you were 12
I have
years old.
Decades and decades and decades
Yeah.
of experience with this one person that has been, living in my rooms,
Right.
probably spending the night in my same bed because we shared a
Right.
bed until we were at least, 10 or 11 years old. We just shared a bed.
Oh, wow.
And then we shared everything until I went to law school.
Yeah.
So cars and
Yeah.
apartments. And so you just get in touch with, and here's the thing. If you're looking at, Jess or your
Dr. Jess.
spouse. Yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Jess.
The lovely and talented
The
Dr. Jess?
lovely and
Okay.
talented Dr. Jess.
Okay.
You're going to be in tune with
No,
her.
I get it. I
and
get it.
You're just going to be
Right.
in sync with stuff, right? So I think after time, you're just going to be that way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. My younger brother and I are pretty
Yeah, you're
tight
just
in
going to
that
be
way. Lauren.
in sync,
Yeah.
I still remember the first time when the twins were really little, but they were going to childcare. When one of them was sick, and I had to take the other one in to childcare, and she couldn't stop crying on the way. It was pretty heart wrenching. She was like, "Where's my sister? Where's my sister?" And I mean, like, just the way she was kind of saying it, it was almost like she was getting an amputation or something.
Yeah, it was a bit lonely.
And it just showed you that connection.
I miss those little girls. They were tiny the last time I saw them.
Well, they
you'd
get to
be
grow up.
surprised at how much that they're little ladies now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Chris, and I'm so glad that you have 3 girls. Ours are really difficult, but I'm going to tell you what, they are amazing.
Oh, I
They
love
will
'em.
grow up to be incredible leaders and amazing women.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Preach.
Be the best example of what they should expect,
Yeah.
what you want your daughters to be and to have
Yeah.
as spouses, as partners in law, and partners in medicine, and partners in whatever they choose to be.
Yeah,
They need
just
to
let
be-
them make their own independent
Yes.
choices. Because I've had that conversation with my wife many times. Like, the most important thing, no matter what they choose to be, is that they make their own choices and they don't find themselves in a situation where they're, shacking up with somebody because they feel like they're a dependent and they don't
That's
have another option.
exactly
Because I feel like that's
Yeah.
potentially the beginning of a bad path, and when things can happen that we've always tried to figure out, like, how do we do that? How do we get them to stand with their own 2 legs and really kind of take hold of their life and where they're going,
That's incredible.
That's
Well
awesome.
done. You're already on your way, friend.
Now, Pavita, your oldest told me last time I saw her that she was writing a movie, and there was a
Yes.
role in the movie for me.
Yes.
And it sounded
Wow.
like just from the way she was describing it, I guess you would call the character, Chris, maybe the bumbling buffoon type character or something like that. I'm happy to play that role, but I'm just wondering how far along has
did you have your agent call her and,
I'm still
and
working
talk
on
about how
that.
much you were going to get paid for all this?
I mean,
or?
it's $1.50 maybe.
sold?
My oldest daughter is very creative. My children are all different in very different ways, but my oldest wants to be a writer. She decided to write a play in which she was sort of casting our family friends as different characters, one of whom was Chris.
That's awesome.
One of whom was Chris, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago. She's 14 now.
Yeah.
She might have been 8 or 9
Yeah.
maybe when she decided to write the story. And Chris was a buffoonish
What?
type person who I
Gormley
don't
What do you mean
know.
what's with the past tense
I
there? I don't get the past tense.
I couldn't tell you where she got the idea.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. That's off cast. No, I'm just kidding. She's a lovely, wonderful child, and I do want to be in a movie, by the way, in
There
the
you go.
future. And
She
I'll
will be.
I'll be the cameraman.
Well,
or
you're
whatever.
already like a radio mogul, so you're
That's right.
on your way, man.
We got to sign off pretty soon, brother. So what else is
Well,
on your?
let me ask Pavita a legal question, because you told me, you're like, hey, I'm going to have my friend on.
Yes.
She's a lawyer. Like, you don't get a lot of opportunities to like ask a good question
Yes.
of a lawyer.
Please
without
do,
asking,
Chris.
like having to pay them money, right?
Chris, you're gonna get what you pay for right here.
Gormley.
And I'm not
Okay.
licensed
The floor is yours,
to answer
Gormley.
your
I
question.
love it. That's
Well,
awesome.
okay, you've got like Nike with their international businesses and all of their liabilities and exposures, and I just gave it as much
could be
thought
real-
as I could.
Yeah, this could be
And the
good.
best thing I could come up with was, but why do barristers in England continue to wear those funny, like, George Washington wigs? And I guess the second part of it would be, if you moved there, would you be embarrassed if you had to put one on?
That's a great question. Pavita, come on, you can handle that.
Lice.
Why do they wear those crazy
It's
things?
because of lice.
I mean, come on, it's
I have no idea.
2021.
How do I know, dude?
Oh.
I was born in England.
It's 2021.
Really? Oh my God, I didn't even know that. That's what a perfect question.
Oh, my
That's,
gosh.
I know, but there's something about history. and
Tradition, but come on.
tradition
Do they
and-
know you don't have to wear a wig anymore? I think
Well-
that's Chris's point.
Some things are better left to be changed, aren't they?
In England, it's like wigs and Guinness, right?
Right.
It's all good.
Gormley, I'm very happy to have
Yeah.
you on the show. I want to get you back on some other time earlier. I do have to let you go, though, brother. Any last words?
Just that I miss you and I miss Carbro. There's so many great memories of being out there.
Yeah,
That's all.
We miss
Thank you for
too,
having
brother.
us.
Nice meeting you, Pavita.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell your
Chris.
family I say hello, brother.
All right.
All
Good
right.
night, you guys.
See you, man.
Good night.
Pavita, we got to sign off. Any last words from you?
Thank you. Be kind and be good to one another.
All right, friends. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Calico pie, little bird fly down to the calico tree. Wings of blue, singing tilly tilly loo, till away they flew, but they never came back to me. Calico jam, little fish swam over the Silver Sea. Took off his hat to the soul and the sprout and the willoughby bat, but he never came back to me. Never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Oh, he never came back. Calico bag, little mouse rat, to be ready for tea. Flippity flop, drank it all up, danced in the cup, but they never came back to me. Well, he never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Oh, he never came back. Calico drum, grasshopper come, butterfly, beetle and bee. Over the ground, round and round, with a hop and a bound, but he never came back to me. Oh, he never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Never came back, never came back, he never came back to me. Never came back, never came back, he never